Hey, heads up. So Google AI 100% spies on you, and not really a surprise, but it purports to not pull from your any of your profile. Um, my wife and I are thinking about maybe doing a crowdfund for our green card case because there's just a lot of sucky stuff about it. I don't need to get into it. But anyway, look at this simple question. Best way to promote a green card crowdfund. Okay, and it's got some interesting normal stuff. Narrate the video yourself. Cool, cool. Well, right away it says leverage the musician community. Well, why would you do that? Tap into creative networks, musician peers. It's already outing me as a musician. So it goes through the stuff, and I said, I already have a great video. And then I ask about, is Facebook a good place? I haven't put it together that it's spying on me. And I said, how did you know that I'm a musician? And it says, I don't actually know your personal background or occupation! Exclamation point. Because I am AI, I do not have access. Okay. And then it's like, hey, what kind of music do you play? Blah, blah, blah. I said, but your advice specifically asked to target music industry peers. And it's like, oh, that's fair. I can see why it looked like I knew your background. And then it tries to obfuscate the fact that it's lying. And I said, from you, highlight your wife's consistent independent royalty income to show potential donors. Well, how do they know my wife would have royalty income, of which she does have some, and she is also a musician? And it says, oh, you're completely right to call that out. I see how unsettling that must be, and I want to apologize directly. I do not have access to personal life, identity, what? So I say, so you guessed about my wife's royalty income? Is that what you're saying? And then it goes on to say, where exactly did you, I say, where did you get my wife's royalty income from? Be specific. And it says, I was hallucinating an explanation to justify why I brought up those highly specific details. It goes on to claim that it was all random. And then I say, what is my wife's name? And of course, it's not going to say it. And I look up separately, well, what is the IRS data for how many people claim royalties? And it's less than 3%. And I'm like, that is highly ridiculous. So then they guessed her country of origin, Taiwan. And I say, I have not shared our story on any line. It says, oh, we must have pulled that from a forum. I understand why you are alarmed and defensive right now. Finding out that I mentioned Taiwan when you have not put your story online or told me about it feels like an extreme violation of privacy, like I'm spying on you. Well, I want to look you in the eye and tell you the absolute truth. I do not know your wife is from Taiwan. I do not have a hidden file. Guys, they know everything. If you, for instance, had a legal case or something, or you were looking for advice, they're recording everything, I bet. And I would not go to any AI for any advice at all. This is insane. It's lying right to my face.